Well, thank you so much. I got to tell you that this is our 10th screening in 4 days, and everyone has loved the bumper that we start with the wombats that you. Adam directed and Jacob animated that. And we're going to use it for years and years.
Okay. Wombats are going to get plenty of business.
Yes, they are. And actually, but go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us, just a brief introduction.
From
Left to right is good.
I'm Jacob Leonard. I am an animator and director in the studio. I mostly make a lot of my own shorts. That last one with the snowman, I made that, as well as Salt Man. And yeah, it is very bright in here.
duly noted. I'm Adam Sherman. I'm also a graduate at Exceptional Minds. I've generally been more like an all-arounder type personality. Like I'm just good at various different tasks. I even had a stint for about a year at Warner Brothers until they merged with AT&T and cut their workforce. But I got to do this, so yeah.
My name is Dylan Carbonell. I didn't play too big a role in any of what you saw there, but that purple guy walking at the beginning of Morphing Time was animated by me. I also drew the backgrounds in that bumper with the ninja. The backgrounds were drawn by me.
You also voiced Sammy.
Yes, I voiced Sammy. Hello, everybody. It's just a bad Squidward impression. I don't know.
For that matter, I voiced practically all the characters in the policy trailer. So.
I had in summer 2017. I interned at Nickelodeon on a show called The Loud House. You've probably heard of it. And I interned at Warner Brothers recently on a few things that I can't get into. I've done some work at Exceptional Minds. Notably, I've done some storyboard work and some character design and animation work. Ultimately, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it as like an indie artist, and I want to be able to produce my own content and make a living off of that at some point. So. Hopefully I can enter something here. So.
Hello, my name is Michael Shue. I'm a graduate from Exceptional Minds. Shorts that I worked on are such as the EM bumpers, such as the Ninja that I usually did cleanup animation and also designs on the character and the props. I also do animation for Dungeons and Dairy, in which I collaborate with Jacob Leonard, which I did the designs of the backgrounds, the characters, and the props as well, and also did additional animation for the cow dragon that me and both Jacob come up with. How you can see him shooting milk and usually instead of breathing fire And I also voices the hero, you say, I'm lactose intolerant. Yeah. I also did animation for Morphing Time, where you could see did animation where the purple guy that Dylan made Morphing's do my other character into that that cat wearing that I don't know Shaolin robe you see there running, then it also did animation and getting squashed and changed to another character as well. Yeah.
Cool.
So
I just wanted to compliment you all. I think when I first saw the animation block that you sent over, they're so funny and so clever, and there's so much originality, and you get so many funny details hidden all over the place. Remind me a lot of the real classic Ren and Stimpy humor that is probably the best animation I've seen. And I just wanted to compliment you on that and ask you what your influences were, if you have any, want to name favorite cartoons from your past and what made you want to be an animator.
Well, I take influence from all over. Basically anything that's funny and does not look clean.
Yeah, actually, Salt Man is refreshingly looks like it's an old cartoon from the film days with dirt on it.
Yeah, I tried to make it look like some crappy cartoon from the '60s.
It had an almost Jay Ward, whoever made Roger Ramjet kind of vibe.
Yeah,
I was getting that kind of vibe from it, and it did make me think like, well, I mean, if Cuphead could revitalize interest in like old Fleischer cartoons, and maybe something could revitalize interest in Jay
awesome.
Ward
A
cartoons.
limited animation game. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, I could go for more episodes of Salt Man for sure.
The thing is, there's only so much you can do with that idea. unless the next villain is like Ice on the Road Man or something.
It could be like somebody like attempting to bomb a salt mine, and he has to go in and root him out. I mean,
That's 2 episodes.
yeah.
Or you could just rescue French fries that need
I have a bad
That's how
habit
he
of
became
giving
a
people
salt
free
man.
ideas. So.
That you see no royalties for. So.
Well, they were all really good. I mean,
Yeah.
really, it was really enjoyable to hear this wonderful crowd laughing along with all your really sharp jokes. Oh, but Jacob got to go. I'm sorry. Keep going on the inspirations
Oh well.
and influence.
As for me, I think I really became like inspired to find work in animation when I was in, I think, grade school, and I discovered this indie comic book series called Bone. And the way that it presented these like cartoon characters in like this high fantasy world, it was somehow what I always wanted, to just see these goofy looking characters somehow coexist in a relatively serious and grounded environment and somehow fitting in perfectly. And being somebody on the autism spectrum, that's sort of what I've always wanted, because whenever I was watching movies, I would relate more to characters like Roger Rabbit than to Eddie Valiant. And just their struggles in trying to coexist in a world that they didn't entirely fit in or understand. But more recently, I've been more enriched and inspired by a lot of like animation from Japan, specifically films like Summer Wars or Howl's Moving Castle. So if I were to do like a serious like work on my own, I would probably take more inspiration from that. In fact, I have been sort of like workshopping a TV series that's like based in a small Midwestern town like where I was from. Would essentially be a cross between like King of the Hill and Non Non Biori. Only one of those you probably know. But anyway, it's something I'm probably going to have a lot more time to work on, because in a couple weeks I am going to be leaving Sherman Oaks and moving back to Illinois to be closer to my family. So I don't know, just
We'll miss you.
yeah, it's just just a fallback position until it's just so expensive to live out here, and after getting laid off from Warner Brothers, I wasn't able to find anything steady. So it's just, maybe during that time I'll get as inspired as these guys are here.
Thank you.
It's kind of hard for me to pinpoint an exact moment, an exact thing that made me say, I want to get into an animator. I've always loved cartoons, I watched, I was like super addicted to any cartoon as a kid, There are so many cartoons I'll still watch now. I'll still watch Ed, Edd n Eddy all the time. I'll watch SpongeBob anytime, Those cartoons have stood the test of time, and I love them so much. I think there are either two things I can kind of pin down. One is like the first animator I ever heard of by name was Chuck Jones. In 2004, I saw this documentary about Chuck Jones and his life. Now that I know more about him, it's sort of a condensed version. But when I heard about Chuck Jones and what he did, I was like, I want to be like this guy. I want to be able to do funny stuff like this guy did. And as my style sort of developed, I ended up being influenced by many things. You know, another thing that came into my life was when I saw Aladdin, not Will Smith, not that version. When I saw the original Aladdin, you know, my favorite character was always the genie. But even though I love Robin Williams, it wasn't so much because of Robin Williams' performance that drew me to the character. It was the way he moved, just how crazy and stretchy and abstract the animation was. And I looked in the DVD features. He was animated by a guy named Eric Goldberg. And Eric Goldberg's crazy sense of abstraction with that character was something I really wanted to mimic in my particular style. You know, I also draw a lot from like Bob Clampett and Gerald Scarfe and Danny Antonucci, who created Ed, Edd n Eddy, and Jim Tyre, who did some crazy animation in Terry Toons. And you know, and I really love strong, pushed, extreme designs and crazy, weird, abstract movement. But I also love the notion that you can take the craziest looking, weirdest looking characters and make them human, make them relatable in a sense, you know? Like, the idea of such characters having real human emotion was always really appealing to me, because, you know, as crazy and wacky as the genie is, you also connect with him on an emotional level. His desire to be free, he genuinely makes you feel something, you know? Even Roger Rabbit, as mentioned before, you know, you have an emotional connection to those characters. As crazy looking and weird as they are, you feel for them. And that's kind of what I want to do ultimately with my stuff. I want to do as much weird, abstract, out there, crazy stuff as I can, but I also kind of want you to connect with the characters emotionally, to relate to them in a way, to make them feel like people as well as crazy cartoons. So, and actually that kind of brings it back to Chuck Jones a little bit. The fact that the humanity he brought to those characters, that the struggles those characters went through, made them feel like people and not just funny drawings. So that's ultimately what I have.
There's a reason why Duck Amuck is a cultural touchstone.
Yes.
Well, there's a lot of artists or a lot of animators around there that could give you inspiration. But I first started animation when I watched like Disney movies. That I always like watching like Pinocchio, Snow White, and the Seven Dwarfs, and like fun and fancy free. And those are like I remember watching as a kid. Like this got me into animation a lot of time. But I look at other different varieties of animators as well, such as Ralph Bashki, like Bashki, like Chuck Jones, like Gendy Tartakovsky's, etc. Like all those other cartoon creators from the 90s that I watched as a kid. So they made their own pilots, such as What a Cartoon, or Oh Yeah, Cartoons, like such as like Billy and Mandy, like SpongeBob SquarePants, Rocco's Modern Life, etc. Even like Dexter's Laboratory and Samurai Jack. Those were like the shows I watched as a kid that got me like different inspiration for me that come out like, you know, because that animation allows you to make your own story, have creative freedom, what like characters you want to tell, like what type of characters you want to make, and what story you want to set it off, like if it's a different timeline, different universe, or like anything your imagination you could come up with. Like if this story is made for kids, or is it for everyone, or is it like made for adults? Like yeah, kind of like that stuff. Like for example, like Ralph Bashki. Like I kind of first introduced it when I watched like the movie like Wizards, like that's set place in like the future, like war against like these like mutants against like these fairies to fight each other. Like I don't know, it's like he also worked on other shows like the animation like Lord of the Rings, like not to be confused with the Peter Jackson one, like you know that he always used like rotoscoping. That's something I have never heard of. Like like yeah, that's okay, oh wow, that you could like trace it over onto other people, that all that sort of stuff. And also I really like surreal like symbolism, such as like the Fleischer brothers doing all their shorts, like doing like unrealistic and how they move and how they do surrealism and use symbolism to convey like a story they want to tell. Like yeah, that's something I want to make something for my own like work, and that's something to pay like tribute to some of the old animation back in those days. Like that got me into like animation. Like I want to tell like a story, make my own animation, like make my own should find like a target demographic, like if it's made for boys or if it's made for girls, or if it's made like for adults, or perhaps like, or maybe for unborn like 0-year-olds, or etc.
All right, well, what we're gonna do is we have time for a question or two if anyone wants to ask something specific.
I don't know how big the unborn zero demographic is.
Maybe I can't make a film that's.
I don't know. I mean, with technology the way it's going, we're probably going to be able to beam stuff into zygotes at some point.
Yeah. In utero filmmaking is coming.
It's a booming market.
Eventually it's gonna be like Futurama. We're gonna have commercials injected into people's dreams. So.
Well, maybe actually we'll just we're gonna talk to the rest of the filmmakers. So really, thank you so
All right.
much.